I didn't know we could get this many people in this room. Thanks very much for coming. I'm going to read a statement and then to take a few questions. Earlier this morning, I sent KU students, faculty, and staff a message telling them that effective June 30th, 2009, I'll step down as Chancellor of the University of Kansas. I've thoroughly enjoyed being Chancellor. It's been a privilege and a special honor to serve this great university. But it's time for me to take on a new role. I'll work every day between now and June 30th as Chancellor in my office here in Strong Hall. And on July 1st, 2009, I'll get up, walk across the street, and start a transition into work for which I have great fondness: scholarly duties, teaching, and writing. For the first year, I'll be working on a book about intercollegiate athletics and American values, and I'll return to the classroom in 2010. Why step down now, some have asked me. This coming June, I will have completed 14 years as Chancellor, an unusually long time in these days, and especially for a position that demands 24/7 attention. I'm told the national average for university presidents or chancellors is about 7 to 8 years. There's never a perfect time to step down from a job like this, but in light of where KU is today and the accomplishments of the past 12 months, it seems to me probably about as good as it gets. Let me review just a few things that we've accomplished recently. We're on course for the National Cancer Institute designation as a comprehensive cancer center. This fall, we achieved records in enrollment, ACT scores, and diversity of faculty, staff, and students. The number of donors to the university and the number of privately funded scholarships has also been a record. We've more than doubled research funding to almost $300 million a year, a great tribute to a great faculty. And we're riding on the crest of what arguably has been the singularly most successful year in KU history in terms of performance by our students and faculty. Everything from an NCAA men's basketball championship. You did remember we won the national championship. Everything from an NCAA men's basketball championship to the debate team being ranked first in the nation. I'll return to the classroom knowing that the University of Kansas is in excellent shape and ready for the challenges that face our nation's leading public universities. Several years ago, I put together a list of the 10 characteristics of a great university. When you review that list, it's clear that KU is a great university, well positioned for the challenges ahead. I want to thank the Regents for the opportunity they gave me 14 years ago and for their continuous support. They have embraced the KU vision. But day upon week and week upon year, it's been the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of the University of Kansas who have made this vision a reality. I especially want to thank them and communicate in every way that I can how much I appreciate their support. Be glad to take a few questions. And Lynn is telling the truth. I do have a meeting in Kansas City that I've got to be at.
Chancellor, if you go back to the classroom, what do you plan on teaching?
What do I plan on teaching?
Yeah,
Well, my field is American literature, specifically African American literature. So I'll probably be doing that. In the past, I've taught courses in world poverty, and I've also taught other American literature courses such as William Faulkner. And I'm the standard English professor. I guarantee you.
Are you going to be teaching graduate or undergraduate or both?
Well, probably both. We'll work that out.
Chancellor, you're leaving at a time when the United States obviously is facing grave economic conditions. The university won't remain immune to that. What should the search committee look for in your replacement, and what advice would you give your successor?
Well, I was sort of hoping that as soon as I declared that the financial problems would go away, but I'm just teasing. I think that the things that should be looked for in the next chancellor are an ability to understand and handle difficult economic times. We all know that we're going to be facing those kinds of times. My goal is going to be to do everything I can to prepare the way for the next chancellor and make sure that we've got a good method of succeeding in this very difficult time.
As these things go, it's not uncommon for a head of a university to give a year's notice. Did you just come to this decision relatively recently, and can you give us some background on that?
Well, basically, I came to the conclusion fairly recently, and I talked with the regents, and they're comfortable with the timetable.
What's been the toughest part of the job over the last 14 years?
Well, there are a lot of dramatic moments. I don't know that I want to specialize and pick out one of them. I would say that one of the things I'm proudest of is the way that the University of Kansas has come to be one university. As many of you have heard me say, we need to think of ourselves as one university. The medical center, the Lawrence campus, all of this comes together as a university that everybody can be proud of. That's probably the thing I'm most prideful of, that we've got people who think about the university in that manner, in a way I don't think they did before.
Can you tell us more about why you chose this time to step down? You said there's never a good time, but did anyone suggest to you that this would be a good transitional time? Did you just have a revelation? I mean, why?
Well, I don't know whether it was a revelation on the road to Damascus, but it was an understanding that these are hard jobs. You work hard at them. They really are 24/7 jobs. And I think I just came to the conclusion that it was time for me to step away from that kind of a job and do what I can to prepare the way for the next chancellor, and also to live my life as a scholar and a teacher, which is the way I got into this business in the first place.
Chancellor, you
With the
mentioned the
tough
next
economic-
chancellor. Do you expect that there will be an interim chancellor named between your retirement and when another one is named?
I really don't know. That'd be up to the regents.
With the tough economic times, the more budget cuts surely coming to KU, can you address again the timing that this might be a difficult time for somebody to take over?
Well, I think it's probably, sure, it'll be a difficult time for someone to take over. It's a difficult time, to work day after day. But this is a great university, and the one thing that is characteristic of great universities is that they make great hires. The University of Kansas will be able to hire an absolutely first-rate person. And I look forward to welcoming that person and offering whatever I can to their success.
Chancellor, what do you believe the goal should be of your successor going forward?
Well, the goal is always the same. How do you make the University of Kansas a better university every day that you're here? I have a phrase that I've used in the past in which I've said that what the job is really all about is creating a greater university, brick by brick, step by step. And I think that's the way I try to do it. I think we have had considerable success in doing it that way. And my recommendation to the next chancellor would be that they adopt that motto too.
Chancellor, in 50 years, when they look back on your tenure, what do you hope they'll say about you?
Well, I would hope that they'd think about it sooner than 50 years from now. But I'm not sure. Are you asking me what I want people to?
How do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? Well, I would hope that I would be remembered as a teacher and a scholar who had additional abilities in the administrative part of the university, and who worked hard to do things in a way that the respect that faculty have and staff have for this institution has been improved during the time that I've been here.
Chancellor, given the fact that this is a 24/7 job, could you give us some insights into the reaction you got from Mrs. Hemenway and your family when you gave them the news, or how that went over in your household?
Well, Leah said she didn't want to be at the press conference. But I have to tell you, if you'll allow me a personal moment, I was really struck last night. For those of you who are unfamiliar, that's the whistle. I got a phone call about 8 o'clock or so last night from my son, one of my sons who works in Kansas City, and he said, "Do you want me to be at the press conference?" And I said, "No, I hadn't really thought about that. There's no reason for you to be here." And he said, "Well, I just wanted, I wanted to be able to if you thought you needed me to show support for you, I'll be there to do it." I was really struck by that, because there are many times that I'm sure that I've been out there on the road or raising money or doing something that I didn't have the opportunity to be spending that time with my son, and the fact that he was willing to think of it that way, I really appreciated.
What's been your biggest regret or disappointment while at KU?
Well, I don't know whether it's a regret or disappointment. It's the university is. Let me go back to the theme that I think is really important. This is a great university. This is a university that will make good hires. It's the university that has an absolutely first-rate faculty. I think the only regret that I have is that I think we have such a spectacular faculty that we haven't always been able to provide the resources to enable that faculty to live up to its possibilities. That's something every chancellor or president struggles with, I think. Is sort of built into the business. But if there was any disappointment, it would be that there were so many. We've done so many things, and we're going to be doing so many things in the future. I think that's the key that I would put. I mean, you just take cancer. We declared the fact that curing cancer was going to be the #1 priority of the institution. We've hired spectacular faculty to come in and help us do that. Our faculty who are resident in the Med Center are a part of that. We just could move so much faster if we had the resources and the funds to do it. And I think that they're going to come. Witness the fact that the Research Triangle bill for Johnson County was passed at the last election. That specifically focuses upon clinical trials in cancer. So that's the way I would put that. But I don't want it to be misinterpreted. I'm not leaving this office with huge regrets or disappointments. I've had a heck of a good time being chancellor, and we've done some fantastic things, and it's my intention to continue doing them. I'm just going to support the university in a little bit different way than I have up to now.
Chancellor, what is your age, and how long have you been thinking about this decision?
I think I'm 67, all right? Isn't there somebody that should know that? I'm 60. How long have I been thinking about this? I'll give you a kind of curious answer to that. I think that provosts and presidents and chancellors think about every day, think about whether or not, is this university being well served by my work in this institution? I think you ask yourself that question every day. Most days you think, heck yes, the university's lucky to have me. On the other hand, there are days that things haven't gone as well. But I've never had a day in which I thought things were going so poorly that I needed to be disappointed or concerned that the university wasn't living up to its expectations.
What do you hope to accomplish before June 30th?
Well, I think the budget's going to take the major part of all of our time, and we've got good, smart people who are working on this, and we have a challenge to face, and we'll face it, and the university will succeed. I do have to go. I don't want my legacy to be a series of speeding tickets, so I thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Chief.